The culture war has finally come for Wikipedia. Hello everyone, this is Mr. Obvious, bringing you the obvious. And today, on BuzzFeed.news, tech, the culture war has finally come for Wikipedia. The once derided open source encyclopedia is the closest thing the internet has to an oasis of truth. Oh yeah, truth. You know, I have news for you, buddy. Wikipedia hasn't been a bastion of truth for a very long time. Now a single user ban has exposed the deep rifts between Wikipedia's libertarian origins and its egalitarian aspirations, and has threatened that stability. So this article is by Joseph Bernstein. The Bernstein Bears. Now, he's telling a very different story than the story I'm going to tell. He's the one who picked this title. The culture war has finally come for Wikipedia. And he's giving his view of what's happened to Wikipedia and what's gone wrong. I'm going to give you what I believe is the full picture of why Wikipedia is no longer a trustworthy source. Now, I've decided to change my plug a little bit. I'm going to start putting it maybe in the beginning of the video and try to make it shorter. So if you want to support creators like me who are constantly being demonetized, check out the links in the description. It's got Patreon, Subscribestar, all sorts of stuff. You can also look at the affiliate links. Now, with that out of the way, let's check this out. And here's the picture. Pretty cool if you ask me. If the internet has largely been lost to the culture war engulfing much of the Western world, Wikipedia has proven to be an unlikely Switzerland. Doubt. The open source encyclopedia, once maligned as a harbinger of a future in which no one had authority over the facts, now looks ironically like the last best hope for a global digital portal to the truth. But behind the unadorned pages that have earned the trust of millions of readers, an argument rages that threatens to drag the project into the muck with other major social platforms, and it began, as these fights so often do, with something as seemingly simple as a user ban. Oh, you mean censorship? Yeah, that's how it starts. Now, we're going to have to jump through several stories and several sources of information, because I do my research on everything, and I've done my research on this. Now, he's starting out with the premise that Wikipedia is a bastion of truth, and it has been, and the culture war finally came for it, as if this was recent. No, it's been going on for years. Wikipedia has not been telling the truth. It has been infiltrated by insane people. Let's check out this post on Reddit, and this is from an entire year ago. And keep in mind, the author is saying, oh, just now this has been going on. No. Now look at this. SJW edits Wikipedia. Rasmussen reports article to win an argument on Reddit. Greeville95 says, Trump's approval is only 40% at its best. Wrong. Edit. LMAO. Just like a left-leaning sub to upvote fake news. Oh well. Rasmussen has Trump at 48% approval. For most polling agencies, he's around 45%. For literally two, he is under 40% or under. Here we see a reply. LOL. I did not even know what Rasmussen was, so I googled it. First thing I see is their Wikipedia page. And the very first line says Rasmussen Reports is the least accurate American polling company founded in 2003. So this is the SJW, and they're claiming that the first line of the Rasmussen Report say it is the least accurate American polling company. That is the claim. However, Greeville95 was not a dummy. He checked. Wow. LMAO. Never seen someone actually edit a Wikipedia page in an attempt to win an argument. You heard that right, folks. This person, this insane SJW, in order to win an argument online, infiltrated Wikipedia and changed the sources and words. You really thought I wouldn't check the edit history on that page, you moron? For anyone who doesn't want to follow my link, it was edited today. The change was from an American polling company to the least accurate American polling company. Ha 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 ha. Goddamn, you people parody yourselves. Yep-a-doody. That is the left-a-tooty. And this has been a big problem with Wikipedia. People assume it's true. However, their standards are horrible. Do you know what can count as a source for Wikipedia? Journalist articles from places like CNN and the HuffPost. No fact-checking, no truth involved. It could absolutely be a debunked or fake story. but Wikipedia will still accept it. And then you have hordes of mods who work together in an authoritarian horde to protect pages, to spread a narrative, a political narrative. Look, this entire subreddit called Wiki in Action, which has 5,000 members, a place to discuss the corruption and issues with Wikipedia. Anything from one-sided articles, historical revisionism, corruption among the editors, and so on is welcome here. So don't just take my word for it that Wikipedia is corrupt. They're spreading revisionism, one-sided articles, and corruption. There's 5,000 members who also believe it and post proof. Now, getting back to the article, let's go on to say what he's saying. Let's go on to see what his narrative is, look at what we know about the history of the media and the history of Wikipedia, and see if we can find the truth about the culture war. On June 10th, the Wikimedia Foundation did something unprecedented in a decade of its half history. It banned a user from the English language Wikipedia for a year. The San Francisco-based nonprofit that hosts the world's greatest information resource has historically kept its hand off the individuals who use and edit it. Penalties for bad behavior on the English Wikipedia are typically determined and meted out by the community itself, often represented by the arbitration committee, the 15-person all-volunteer body elected by fellow Wikipedians. Arb.com is commonly referred to as Wikipedia's Supreme Court, but the foundation is a higher power. The 300-person organization, which in its fiscal year of 2017 to 2018 received more than 100 million in donations, can make unilateral decisions. So they can basically decide whatever they want on the website. Whatever they say goes. That's just how it is. They've given out only 36 global bans since 2012, and never until now a temporary one. A permanent ban is a permanent ban. You can't get out. So who did they ban? The foundation could hardly have picked a more conspicuous target for this new kind of intervention. Fram, one of its best-known administrators. Many editors and admins Wikipedia work anonymously, a fact that has embarrassed the platform in its past. When word got out, the foundation didn't make a statement. The reaction from the Wikipedia community was fast and fierce. What the hell, wrote Iridescent, an admin, on a community response to Wiki. There had better be a damn good explanation. Fram is arguably the best admin in Wikipedia's history. I find it hard to imagine problems that are simultaneously so bad they warrant an emergency ban without discussion, but simultaneously so unproblematic that the ban will auto-expire in a year. So, basically, this was the issue. If Fram hadn't done anything worthy of a lifetime ban, that means the foundation had basically, in a shady gray decision, flexed its power, as if to say, we're the boss, we do whatever we want. We the people are being systematically brainwashed into giving up all of our previous freedoms, wrote one editor. And see, that's the big problem here. It's no longer a community project. Special interest is taking over. The article goes on to say that unlike most websites, unlike most social media platforms, Wikipedia managed to escape the fates of those sites, becoming user-generated, becoming about content policies and heavy moderation and lack of free speech, strikes and suspensions, martyrdom and harassment. It finds itself in the painful position that the YouTubes and the Twitters of the world have been unable to escape. Open conflict. So, the English language Wikipedia has over 1,000 administrators. They have special powers, ability to block, unblock, limit edits, hide revisions and such. And that's part of the problem. But let's also remember that Wikipedia has also been hated on, especially by the academics, because, oh no, people might find out that we're liars and spreading cultural Marxism. See, that's been a big problem too. And that's also why I believe they've targeted Wikipedia. So Fram is both known as being one of the most prolific administrators, fighting spam, making sure everything's good, handling copyright, fixing mistakes, and etc. But he's also known as kind of an ass. You mean like you? He has a reputation for almost always being right on the underlying merits in a dispute. This guy is me. Oh, this guy is literally me. But going about it in a fairly obnoxious way. Oh, we gotta read this. I love this guy. Okay, let's read this paragraph here. Fram explained that he had received 2 previous conduct warnings from the Foundation's Trust and Safety Council for his incivil style towards other Wikipedians. He then claimed that the Foundation told him he had been banned for a single edit to the Wikipedia entry for the arbitration committee itself, which began, F. Abercom. Well played, sir. Once he had received the conduct warning, he wrote any flimsy justification for banning him would do. Here's what gets me, and this is why I know this is all bullshit. They said that the reason they banned him was to maintain respect and civility on the platform. Then they throw in buzzwords, uncivil behavior, harassment, threats, stalking, spamming, etc., terms of use. We've all heard this before. This is all the language that dumb people use to censor others on the internet. Every single time. So you went through a period of being blocked and unblocked and being blocked and unblocked, and there's been a handful of admin revolts, and, you know, there's been a whole situation here. Okay, so now we get to the meat of this article and why I'm going to completely expose Wikipedia as a garbage place. As existential concerns about Wikipedia's accuracy have faded into the background, demography has emerged as the most serious threat to the project's legitimacy. It can hardly aspire to be the sum of human knowledge, if only white guys create and manage it. Oh, I can see the SJWs right now. Studies have found that up to 90% of Wikipedia's editors are male. Similar numbers don't exist for the racial composition of editors. This led to some awkward discoveries, like the fact that the platform's list of prawn actresses, as recently as 2015, had more edits than its list of female poets. Maybe because nobody cares about poetry, but okay. Another study found that 77% of Wikipedia articles are written by 1% of its users. A picture has emerged over the past half-decade of a platform controlled by a small group of white men that is unwelcoming, if not hostile, to newcomers and women. And here we go. This is the real culture war, because white men took time out of their days, put down sources, to file information, to tell people history. Oh, that wasn't diverse enough. So what happens? SJWs and cultural Marxists infiltrated the site. You want proof? I'll give you proof. Let's look at the Gamergate controversy Wikipedia page. This page has been fought over many, many times until it was eventually locked by SJWs. Don't believe me? Let's find out. The Gamergate controversy stemmed from a harassment campaign conducted primarily through the use of hashtag Gamergate. The controversy centered on issues of sexism and progressivism in video game culture. Gamergate is used as a blanket term for the controversy as well as the harassment campaign and actions of those who participated in it. Okay, so if you go through this entire article, it's full of lies. Lies, lies, lies. So there's a girl called Zoe Quinn, and she had a really stupid game called Depression Quest. Okay, nobody liked the game. It was a crappy game, but it got good reviews on several gaming journalist websites. It was later exposed by her ex-boyfriend that she had been sleeping with those same gaming journalists in order to get good reviews for her garbage game. Gamers found out about this and started Gamergate. They discovered that all gaming journalists were pretty much corrupt, collaborating with each other, and sleeping with game developers and giving them good reviews. Of course people were talking about it. But what did the con artist Zoe Quinn do? She spun a narrative. Oh no, I'm being harassed. I didn't sleep with anyone. I didn't get fake reviews. There's no corruption here. And the media ate it up. And you know what happened before that? All those accused gaming journalist websites, all on the same day, put out articles saying gamers are dead, toxic community, and spread lies. If they weren't corrupt and if they weren't collaborating, then why did they all put out the same articles on the same day? Zoe Quinn was guilty 100%. The gaming journalists were guilty 100%. It was corruption 100%. It was collaboration 100%. The media was lying. But what did the mainstream media do? They took the story because it's juicy. They took the con artist, Zoe Quinn, gave her a platform to spread her lies. Oh, harassment. Oh, gaming journalist. Oh, gamers are evil. Now, she wasn't the only one. Zoe Quinn was involved, Brianna Wu was involved, as well as, Anita Sarkeesian. Where have we heard that name before? Didn't she start Feminist Frequency? A literal con man job. They burnt through all their funding. Aren't they broke now? Because they basically stole all the donations to make crappy YouTube videos. God. I found a really good article on the Medium that basically explains how Gamergate was lied about. Gamergate is diverse across all spectrums of gender, race, and sexuality, with a wide variety of political views from the people who have supported it, though the data shows Gamergaters mainly identify as liberals and take classical liberal positions, such as support for freedom of expression. Gamergate is a consumer movement that arose from frustrations with an unethical gaming press. Framing disagreement in general as abuse and harassment, and framing groups of people as hate groups, allows press organizations like The Guardian to justify censorship, and has also allowed the silencing of genuine people with real concerns regarding the role of media and our freedom of speech. This is especially concerning with political interests that desire greater control over online discourse. Gamergate takes a stand. We fight for our right to dissent against these narratives. And that's the truth. Gamergate was about exposing corruption in games journalism and exposing the corruption of Zoe Quinn and exposing the corruption of Anita Sarkeesian. Liars, blasphemers, people who manipulated the media, who was all too ready to jump on the SJW bandwagon. So the culture war has come. So Fram was banned, and he claimed it was over a grudge. Wikipedia looked for someone to blame. Much of that blame fell, perhaps unpredictably, on a woman and a transgender editor. In 2017, a fledgling Wikipedian accused Fram of monitoring her activity on the site to such an extent that it felt like harassment. Where have we heard that buzzword before? The editor, whose contributions focused on women, athletes, lesbian history, and abortion rights, felt that Fram's pattern of correcting her spelling and deleting her stubs, short unfinished articles that are cold when they sit dormant too long, demonstrated a lack of good faith. So basically, she was a terrible editor, and he corrected her mistakes, and she couldn't handle it. More recently, Fram had an acrimonious semantic debate with high-profile transgender editor over whether referring to them as Z constituted misgendering. That's hilarious. So basically, the community is toxic. Now, I'm sure a lot of this toxicity comes from the crazies themselves, but there's a power struggle. I mean, that's what it is at the end of the day. You have people who are rewriting history, like with the Gamergate, completely lying about what really happened. How can you trust anything on Wikipedia? You can't. All of the left-wing, like far-left, regressive pages are all insane. If you go to radical feminism on Wikipedia, it paints radical feminism like it's a good thing. It's not. It's insane. 2 weeks after the ban, anger in the community persists. An official response from the Wikimedia Foundation Board, promised by Wales on June 21st, has not been forthcoming. Editors and admins have proposed various protest actions, including a work stoppage, freezing the main site page, and forking all English Wikipedia. 9 admins have resigned, and the Wikipedia page about Fram's ban now runs more than 100,000 words of text. Claims and counterclaims, proposals and counterproposals, recriminations, calls for patience and calls for impatience, sarcastic references to a forthcoming Nobel Peace Prize, lessons about the history of authoritarianism, and an entire section simply titled, "No Good is Coming Out of This." And that's the entire story of the culture war on Wikipedia. This is the whole truth. I've told you everything there is to know. If you want to know more, you can check out the Wiki in Action sub, and you can check out the Your Media Lies to You, Gamergate article on Medium. Wikipedia is not a trustworthy source, but that's merely the obvious. Well, that's all for now, folks. Let me know what you think about this story. I put a lot more effort into doing the research and looking into this story. Be sure to let me know what you think. Do you think I'm on the ball? Do you think perhaps I'm off the ball? Let me know. Now, like I mentioned earlier, you can join me on Patreon and Subscribestar for as low as $1. There are different tiers. You can choose what you wish. Doing so will get you access to Fight Club. But share the video if you enjoyed it, if you thought it was good. That's probably the best thing anyone can do these days. As always, thanks for watching. This has been Mr. Obvious, and I'll see you all next time.